Aloha, everybody, and good morning. Uh-oh, my chats. There we go. Got my chats. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Betsy Palmer, medium, and sister.
Penelope Gordon, animal communicator.
Welcome.
Hi.
And aloha. Happy Aloha Friday. So we have a guest in the chats. Let's say hello. Aloha, Kyle. October is Witch Hat Month, so stay tuned. And we also have Gerald. Aloha, Gerald. Welcome. Thanks for checking in with us this morning. Sweet. So we have kind of a fun story to start things with today. I asked Penny if she would talk about her experiences working with pet shelters.
I would love to. My friend Rebecca, who breeds cats and also has a Chihuahua rescue in honor of her fabulous William.
Who's William?
William was her Chihuahua that was grabbed in a drug raid, and he was a vicious little monster. He ended up being the world's best Chihuahua ambassador. I did not like Chihuahuas till I met William. I was one of his girl squad. So I would go. I always told Rebecca I was visiting her, but truly it was just visiting William. Sorry, Rebecca. And so Rebecca asked me to come to the shelter and do some readings on Mother's Day cat adoptions, because they had a lot of cats. So all the cats that got readings got adopted. What happened was their personalities came to light, and the shelter workers felt a connection with the animals and felt they were better able to represent the personalities of the cats. So it was
their descriptions got a little more,
their preferences, who they would like, their personality types. It was a wonderful experience. And in that experience, the oldest cat in the shelter got adopted, an 18-year-old cat.
Okay, so, hang on one sec. All right, your audio is really crackly. And is there a chance your speaker has something directly underneath it?
I think, is that better?
Yes, that is better.
Well, let's hope the cheap stand keeps everything in place. So an 18-year-old cat was adopted, and it was a wonderful experience. So I have always given things to shelters and to rescue groups. Yes, I know. So Rebecca contacted me. Hi, Jonathan. Rebecca contacted me and asked me to go to the vet hospital that she uses, because they had a lot of cats and kittens, because it's kitten season. And if I would be willing to do readings on cats and kittens, because she wanted to help them. Thank you, Jonathan. She wanted to help them put more cats on websites and get them all adopted, since they had so many. It's a teaching hospital, so they had a lot of externs as well. So it was an amazing adventure to go see all these cats and kittens. And I fell madly in love with a really wonderful black and white Manx girl with extra toes.
Hey, okay, hang on one sec. Let's answer this question. Yeah. Hi, Kyle. Like I said, October is hat month, so stay tuned. We're in August. So we don't wear hats on day to day.
No. And to be quite, we're going back to the story.
Yeah. So Rebecca asked you, on the heels of success with shelter project number 1, getting all the pets adopted. So she asked you to go to another one at a vet hospital. There's a teaching facility. That's pretty cool. As you know, Jonathan's husband, Frank, is a veterinarian as well.
Yes. Well, the exciting thing was they had over 30 cats there, and we made it all the way through all the cats, and the externs were delightful. The vet is amazing. The adoption coordinator was very helpful. And as we were leaving, I mean, I fell madly in love with this beautiful black and white pterodactyl, the extra toe girl. I can't say it right. And a Manx. And I spoke with her first, and I told her how much her picture captivated me and how I would love to bring her home. I had 2 boys at home. And she looked at me. She backed up in her cage. She said, no, not interested.
No.
I'm an only cat. And so I said, okay, that's fine. And so we moved on. And in the last room, there was this lovely little tabby girl that was in a cage, and all the other the older cats were free roaming in the room, and they were the kittens. This girl had been there since April, the end of July, and she was very shy. And so, we did we had a hard time getting a picture of her. And so when we went to leave, we stopped by that room again because they had several rooms that were set up for these cat adoptions. And she was so sad, almost Rebecca and I almost burst into tears because she was staying at the shelter.
Oh, no.
Well, I went back the next day and got her.
Oh.
Her name is Princess. She's 2 years old. She's 9 pounds of short-haired floof, and is a delightful little white-toed little monster.
Oh, yes. Penny's been sending me a lot of pictures of this little gem. So so let me just kind of back up a little bit here. So when you were in this clinic, they had different rooms full of cats.
Yes.
Older cats and kittens all working around together?
Well, a lot of the kittens were broken up into litters, and some of them were still with their mothers, some of them weren't. And so they had cats and kittens in separate cages. And there were 3 adult girls in the room that Princess was in that were free floating in the room. And they were high up on top of the cages staring out the windows. So, nice. Hi.
Thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Happy Aloha Friday.
Yeah. So the goal was to get the word out about the personalities of all these adoptable cats and kittens and what their preferences were, and get them posted on Pet Finder so that the shelter, so that the veterinary clinic could free up some space because they were overrun with kittens.
Yeah, kitten season. So this was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago yesterday, and I'm pleased to report that Princess is settling in quite well and that my boys are being very accommodating. Phoenix, who usually is very unreasonable with strange other felines, has been a perfect gentleman. I had to let them know that they're 14 and 16, and I needed to think about the future, and I didn't want to be alone.
Yeah. So Penny's 2 boys, Phoenix and Jesse, are black cats. They're both big by Hawaii standards. Our cats here tend to be fairly small, fairly petite, under 10 pounds for sure. Mm-hmm. And Phoenix and Jesse are how big?
I think Phoenix is around it. Well, he's kind of skinny this summer. He's been out a lot. So, I think he's around 10 or 11 pounds, and Jesse's I think he's about 16 or 15 now. He did lose a little weight on his special diet. So,
and Jane says she does cat rescues. Oh, this is where we need picture options with StreamYard. Wouldn't it be great if people were allowed to pop pictures into the chat? Well, maybe that wouldn't be such a good thing. Wait a minute. Let's retract that last statement.
Oh yeah, so funny. So Princess is settling in really well. She's very active and fun. She's 2, tons of energy, and she is, how should I say it, a little purring machine. She purred for the first time on Wednesday, and it just stole my heart.
Okay. So this is interesting because this happened to me too. People have told me that their cats don't purr, and Princess wasn't purring when you first got her. Yeah.
Well, no, she was quite confused. Between Rebecca and I figured out she was really confused. She didn't know why she at this facility, how she got there, and why her people hadn't come back for her. So, we have a very shy girl.
Sorry, I missed you.
Hi.
Morning. Yeah, my mod skills, even in my own home, my mod skills are mediocre. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Your talents may lay a little elsewhere. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I do some other things okay. I'm fine.
Well, and true to cat standards, she found the hardest place for anyone to get her out of. She actually ended up behind my bakery rack, behind a tarp in the rear end of my RV, and was hiding quite successfully. And she did respond to her names, and she named herself Princess. So the blessing was she would come out when she was called. She came out for meals, and she's slowly but surely now she spends all her time in the corner window. I see there's a corner right behind me. There's another matching one that she's basking in the sun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Up, toes in the air.
That's cool. So, I thought this story was great because the first story, for those that just popped in, Penny did some animal communication for pets that, and you said it was how long ago? 2 years ago?
Oh,
2 years ago, the first one?
Probably 10 years ago that we did the
shelter
reads.
So a long time ago. So Penny had gone to a shelter, done readings with the cats there, and their bios were so improved after finding out more about the pets' personalities that they were all adopted out. So I think this is really cool that you went back and did it again. I don't know. This seems like something that you ought to stay in the loop with that vet clinic.
Well, I do. I have an East Coast client, and I do readings for her on adoptables when she wants to rescue. So she sends me pictures, and it's really hard reading. It's really hard reading the kill shelter, list of dogs, I gotta say. But yet she's rescued bunches of them. She saved a bunch.
So what about I'm talking about the hospital, the vet clinic that you just went to. It seems like I would want to be in their philo decks or.
Oh yeah, well, I'm more than willing to go back again. I mean, they had one fabulous 11-year-old marble tabby boy. That's a tan and black marble tabby named Bud, and he had to be 20 pounds. He was in the center of the clinic with all these externs and the vets, and he sat in the middle of the room just watching the circus unfold. He was such a chill, wonderful guy. I wanted to take him home, but I realized he would be a bad fit for my house because I'm gone 10 hours a day, at least.
Yeah.
And you have to take that into consideration when you're adopting. I mean, he loved watching a busy household.
Well, so here, I'm going to redirect for a minute. Jonathan has a request here because, yes, we are doing live readings, guys. If you have any questions, pop them in. Pet readings and spirit guides today. So, Greg adopted a patient of his, a tomcat that's a big boy and blind named I can't even. Mal. Okay, Mal. Yeah, it's an L. Mal. And Kiana has become very angry and sulky. They seem to hate each other. Do we need to rehome him? Do we need to find him a new home?
Let's see. Well, the problem is usually the resident cat hasn't been informed of the plan. And Kiana's used to being
only cat. Yeah.
The queen. And I don't blame her for being jealous. Let's
see if we can tune into these critters and see what's going on, huh?
Well, I can tell you that Mal just wants a home, that he's going to be loved and protected, and that he's able to, and that the people understand his it's not really a disability, he would say, that he has special needs. And Kiana's like,
Kiana has you guys also have a new dog too. A new dog. I know it's been a while since you got her, but she's still a newer dog.
Yeah, and well, Kiana's like, why did you do this? No one consulted me. So I usually recommend before.
Well, we don't. I know. I mean,
no. I recommend Ho'oponopono for her. Jonathan, you need to apologize. You both need to apologize and say that you're really sorry for not consulting her first. You realize she's the queen of the household. You should have asked her permission or let her know what was happening and consulted her prior to bringing this new cat into the house. And I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And you just talk to her. And I would talk to her for about a week before I made any decisions at all. I was lucky. Jesse told me to go get my older cat, told me on the day after I did these readings. He told me, just go get her. You know you're going to get her, just go get her. Don't make her wait. Because I was going to wait 30 days before I adopted her to see if someone else would pick her up. Because I really didn't want another cat. So, I fell in love with the Manx and that didn't work. So I was encouraged by my own cat to go get her, even though he's not thrilled.
So you know what I'm sensing on this one? Sorry, I'm interrupting. What I'm sensing on this is Kiana is feeling a little bit.
Her nose is out of joint.
Well, she's like, why me? It's always me. Why does it always happen to me?
Mm-hmm.
That she's showing me a wheel, and she's in the axle. And there's and the wheel is turning around her all the time. And she's like, but nobody is taking the time to consider nobody's paying attention to the axle. The wheel doesn't, the wheel won't work if the axle is faulty.
Or it's broken.
Yeah. She's like, somebody needs to pay a little attention to me here. Not like she's starved for attention by any means, but that's what she's showing me. She's showing me the wheel turning around her with lots going on, but the regular maintenance on the axle is being overlooked.
I really get we need to ground. We didn't do our ground.
You want to ground? Okay. Do you want to lead a ground? Everybody? No? Oh, okay.
Do yours.
Okay. Penny,
better.
Let me put down my coffee. It's decaf. It's decaf, by the way. I'm still hanging in there with the decaf. Okay, guys. So let's just take a minute to close eyes and take a breath. And turn your attention inward, everyone. And while we're doing this also, guys, hang on one sec. Anybody else that has a question, feel free to pop it into the chats. We're going to do our grounding so we can, we're going to do our grounding. But if anybody would like animal communication or spirit guide communication, pop it into the chats. Entertainment purposes only. So, that said, now let's just close eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. Turn our attention inward. Wow, I just got all kinds of animals. Penny's tribe is here. Okay. As we turn our attention inward, let's focus on our heart space and imagine a bright white light that is glowing there. And as you focus on that light, it expands and it fills our entire bodies from head to toe. We're going to push that energy out through the soles of our feet to Mother Earth so we can begin grounding and saying our messages of love and gratitude to the mothers. So gather up some of that energy and take a nice deep breath in and out, pushing that energy down deep, deep, deep to the very core of Mother Earth. She hears our call and she answers us by sending her unconditional love back to us through the soles of our feet, up higher, past our ankles, up our legs to our knees, and higher to our hips. Begins to fill our bellies, rising up our spine, past our diaphragm, fills our lungs, comes up to our shoulders and spills down our arms, past our elbows and wrists to our fingertips. Rises up through our throats and higher to the top of our head. Very nice. Now we feel that unbroken connection to Mother Earth. We breathe her in and she shares our breath. Peaceful and at a balanced harmony. Thank you. So I guess we don't need to call in Father Sky. I'm going to say my blessing to Father Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And thank him also for sharing his wisdom and patience with us all today, being by our side. Banish any negative energy. Call in our guides only in the beauty way. We thank you for being with us, and so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. There we go. Hello. Man, I got a lot of birds. Got a lot of birds. Imagine that.
Well, I knew everything was going to be okay when the zebras showed up.
The zebras showed up.
When the African badass showed up.
Sweet.
The meme of the day, I got to tell you, was two zebras crossing the water, and one of the zebras, of course, has a crocodile in its mouth going, take that.
Oh yeah, like coyotes will do the same thing. Yeah, with coyotes, mini mules and coyotes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, now I feel much better. So yes. Apologize, Jonathan. Acknowledge that she is the center of the household and that she deserves your love and devotion and consideration. Apologize. Chances are it'll work out.
Sweet.
Yeah, because the other cat is just Mal is attached to having a safe place to be until the end of days. Just doesn't want to continue to be considered too much trouble. Wants to be acknowledged for the wonderful things and that he can bring to a home at this point in his life. And
yeah, it feels like that anxiety about will he lose this home or not isn't helping his relationship with Kiana one iota.
No.
His nervousness is just kind of playing into the whole thing.
Well, and you realize his whole life has changed. The home that he knew where everything was and the places that people were is changed. He's having to map out a whole new life in a home in a hostile environment because she's not happy with him.
Yeah, they seem to antagonize each other. And here's what I got is every time Kiana has tried to tell him where he's allowed to go, but because it's a new situation and he doesn't have the map totally locked in yet, every time he steps into a forbidden zone and she's upset with him, well, it makes him angry. And he also brings in a little bit of old man energy too, like he's confused by the youngins of the day. He's just like just leave. I just want to be left alone. I just want to be left alone. Oh,
and yes,
baby.
and he's got a little, probably some PTSD from all of this, because he doesn't know what happened to him. So if you could explain to him that he was hit by a car, it would be helpful, and that this condition is new and it's permanent, because he doesn't understand why he can't see and where he's at and what's going on. And he says,
does he need some unwinding or something? Have you done any body work on him yet, Jonathan? If he's not in pain, that might help his mood.
Well, yeah. And there is some disconnection with him because he's lost some memory from the car accident, is what I get.
Oh.
So some body work would be very helpful, and perhaps to let him know that, he may not regain everything that he once had. Memories. Because
a new way of life,
and he's kind of, I think you're right about the grumpy old man. He's kind of a grumpy old man, and he's.
But it may not be age related at all. It may just be situational. That his attitude is like, man, I just want to be. Just let me be.
Well, he needs time to adjust to his new disability,
and
he tells me it's not like they issued me a cane and directions.
So a little short-tempered.
Yeah. Well, a little short-tempered, yes. He says, nobody asked me,
So Jonathan, how is he doing with the humans? How's his interaction with the humans? Yeah, that would be interesting to know. Oh, he's only 2 years old. Here we go. He loves it when okay. And he's only 2 years old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, this is a really interesting premise. I was talking to a client, and we talked about EMDR how do we do EMDR for our animals? This was a whole new suggestion. You can do EMDR for him by just alternate tapping in spots, since you're very good with. Yeah. Tap, tap, tap. Like his shoulder blades, or between the neck and the shoulder blades, just tap, 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 and try to talk him through it. I've been hit by a car. It was very traumatizing. I lost my sight. I went to places I didn't know where I was. Yep. Yeah, he's a sweetie. Yeah. I guess this grumpy thing is due to the new disability. He says he's a great cat. Who wouldn't love him?
Kiana.
Well, she's a cat. He says, who wouldn't love me? He's referring to humans. Who wouldn't love me?
So what does Mimi have to say about all of this? Can you ask Mimi, the little doggo? Because, sometimes people see things differently, right? I remember.
Yeah.
I was just talking about a situation yesterday that I was in this corner, somebody else was in that corner, and it looked like this and that to us. And then somebody on the outside was like, oh, here's what I see. And it was completely different. Different.
Cat drama. There's nothing more upsetting to a household than cat drama. He says it's kind of like teenage girl, mean girl
kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Mimi says.
Yeah, she says cat drama. And what I get about that is just trying not to get in the middle of that hissy fit. Just doesn't want to be in the middle of and in proximity between the two cats when they kind of bump into each other's territory at this point. Just doesn't want to be there for that. It's like, smart dog.
Yeah, well, so Mimi, what can we do?
Probably some body work for Kiana to help her settle down. Sounds like what the dog, because what the dog says is anything you do to the new cat, you need to do to the old cat first.
Oh.
Because what happens is jealousy kicks in hard, and it's just like dogs. You don't give the new dog the dish of food first. You have to start with the senior members of the family. So you got to start with the old cat first. If you're going to do body work on the new cat, you need to give some body work to the old cat first and make sure they feel special and loved before we go to the new one. So I've had to start doing things differently myself. I have to love my cats that I've had longer first before I pay attention to the new girl, because she was getting the lion's share of attention because, first of all, she's new and it's a new place, and she's younger and is curious. The other guys are kind of hiding and trying to stay out of her way, and she's trying to, map out her own territory. So
right.
I've had to redo some things in order to keep the hissiness down. And honestly, what you tell the new cat is you have to let Kiana, you have to work it out with Kiana first, whether you can keep the cat.
So to tell Mal that,
to please, what you say is, please, if you want to stay here, you need to work it out. So you're in her territory. You need to stop with your hissiness or your territorial stuff, and you have to give her space and try to figure it out. That she was here first.
Oh, that this is to ask permission to be in her kingdom.
Yes. Ask permission to be in her kingdom and be respectful of her space and be respectful of her. Because what happens is this new guy is probably wanting to sniff her too, because that's how we get to know one another.
Well, yeah, Tomcat.
Oh, he's like, oh no, don't you dare. Don't you get that close. Don't you dare.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep hearing Kiana talk about, first it's the pixies that nobody can see picking on me all the time, and now it's this guy picking on me, wanting to poke and this and that too. Yeah, she's fun.
Yeah, and she's like,
she's over it. Well, I tell you, Jonathan, I think we will ask you to report back to us on this one and see how this goes, because how long has it been? I don't remember that in the chats. How long has it been that you guys have had Mal? Let me look up here and see. I don't think it must be pretty new. I haven't heard anything about it, and I know you guys just came back from vacation, so it's got to be within the last 2 weeks that you got this kitty. So yeah,
that's what Mal says. It's really recent. So
yeah. So let us know. And if anybody else pet reading or anything from spirit guides, let us know. So Penny has been absorbed in the animal side, the pet rescue side lately. I myself, we're going to switch gears. I have been also doing some new stuff, which is kind of interesting. I have been getting more requests revolving around dark beings. Yeah. Huh?
I have questions.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of communicating, talking to, and podcasting and whatnot with my friend Karen Rantowski. Some of you may have seen her before. She's pretty well known. She's a comedian and a paranormal investigator and a tarot reader / tarot instructor. So we were communicating a lot in July, and she is the best, absolute best. But she's also very experienced working with darker stuff as a paranormal investigator. Okay, hang on. Jonathan's got our answer here. Hang on. We'll pick that up in a minute. Okay, got him before the vacation, but he went to the clinic, so they had almost a month apart. So they're trying to adjust for a second time. Okay, Frank adopted him 2 or 3 months ago. Oh, that's why Kiana's in such a snit. She thought he was gone for good.
Yes. And now he's back.
Now he's back.
With no warning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
honestly, girl cats are so territorial.
Yeah. Girls are territorial.
They make the boys look like sheep. And she's the wolf.
Yeah. So and she is like the ruling estrogen in the household.
Yes, she is.
Mimi's pretty chill. Mimi is so friendly. She's pretty chill, but Kiana's more queenly. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And she definitely feels like, how dare he pay attention? Well, yeah. Well, she's afraid caught in the crossfire. I mean, there's some serious cat drama going on there.
Yeah.
So you could always let Mimi know that she could help him figure out the paths and the routes around the house if she was willing.
Oh, yeah.
Be the seeing eye. Try to help her negotiate. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Well, and he was less trouble then, too, is what Kiana says.
Yeah.
Stayed put. He wasn't tromping around her territory as much.
Yeah.
Apologize?
So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Apologize.
Apologize.
Give Kiana, like Penny suggested, apologize to Kiana. Give her some attention before you work with him or cuddle him. And yeah.
And you have to let her, and you have to let her know how important she is to you, that your relationship with her is paramount, and that you love her, and that by bringing other animals into the house doesn't mean that you love her less. It's just that sometimes others need a place to go. And you heard that's what I tell mine. I had to take her. She was so sad. Remember, and I tell both my boys this, both my boys came from the shelter. I said, remember, you were once at the shelter. And you had an advantage because you were black. Black cats are the last adopted.
Oh, territory. Yeah.
It's all about territory. Okay, I have to hook my phone up here. I hope this doesn't ruin everything. So
okay. Well, you can always, if you get bumped off, you can always come back in.
It's more like my phone's going to fall over.
Yeah. Sounds like he needs his own space. If he's going to the top of her tree, he's a high spaces kitty, because they're either high spaces or they're bush dwellers, like Jackson Galaxy says. So he needs his own high space, safe place.
Yep. He needs his own tree.
Well, whether it's a tree or whatever it is, he needs a high space, a safety spot for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yes, perfect.
Cool.
She just told me she's never going to share her tree with him. Period.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Apologize. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I think we get it.
I know. That's what I keep hearing. Apologize. Yep.
Yeah. And give him his own high space, his own private high space. Mm-hmm. Somehow, it does, something he can find on his own that wasn't hers first. Yeah. Because if he's a high spaces cat, to feel safe, he needs that. Yes. He needs that hideaway. No, yeah, I'm not seeing another tree. I'm seeing working with already there, like clearing a spot on a shelf or something for him. But
2x6. type thing, maybe, something. It doesn't even have to be anything great.
Yeah, just a way to get up into a bookcase, have a little shelf or a corner or something for him, but not another tree. Because then she'll just want that too. That's not the answer. It's got to be something. I think you guys can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can figure it out. I think you can walk him around the house and offer him little nooks and corners to see what is attractive to him.
And it needs to be out of what she considers her main space. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing a shelf,
mm-hmm.
like a corner of a shelf that's up a couple of levels, that he can kind of feel like he's safely in a corner, so there's nothing behind him. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit shaded, a little bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. Yeah, shelf feels right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jonathan.
I miss you, Jonathan.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen Jonathan forever.
Well, he's got that yummy energy that you just.
I know.
Mm.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's jump back. Where were we? Yes,
back to your dark being. Your
back
dark.
to the So I have learned quite a bit from Karen already, and I have always known about the dark stuff, and I never considered it my area of expertise. I know all about, well, not all about, but I know of how, because, look at our generation. We were pretty wild in our youth, growing up in the 60s and 70s, right? Yeah. And don't forget the 80s, the 1980s. That was an interesting decade to be in your 20s, let me tell you.
Well, and our mother kind of was cutting edge.
Yeah, our mom was a pioneer. So anyway, so I was in the partying group for a long time. I was never I never had addiction issues, not with substance abuse. Sugar, yeah, definitely sugar, but not with substances. So yeah, I was in the partying set. And when I learned how dark entities love to hang out at bars and with partiers and people that were substance users, I found that really interesting and a little bit scary. And it makes so much sense, because how many of us have people that we know in our lives and they start partying, and the chemicals, whatever it is, whether it's drinking or whether it's a substance, when that kicks in, their personality changes big time. So to think that there's opportunistic little parasites that like to attach onto these people when inhibitions are down, energies are opened, right? Easy to understand how this works. But again, I never felt like it was an area that I wanted to be a part of, that I didn't really have anything to contribute to it. It just wasn't my thing. It didn't attract me. I wasn't interested in it. And I didn't really want to deal with people that had this stuff going on. But during July, when I was communicating with Karen, she's trying to branch out with her medium skills, going deeper with that. And she has really all of a sudden, boom, jumped. And since talking with her, I had a guide come in who identified himself as Kelvin, which is kind of interesting because that's a unit of measurement of temperature, kelvins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And every time I say the word Kelvin, I see the color black. So I know this is not a cloud resting, fluffy, harp playing guide. This is somebody that's something else. Karen wanted nothing to do with Kelvin. So, and he was like, fine. He had I don't know, he had something to tell her, and he also said he would answer her questions. And she was like, nope, I've done that before, not doing that again, which I respect. If you've done it before, you didn't like it, good on you that you're not going to try it again.
Okay. So when you started talking about the dark energies and contact, getting in contact with this, I see a big red on my right hand side. I saw a great big red, and I can't call it's not a lion. It's not a, traditional looking devil type thing, but it's muscular and tall and strong and I'm like, who belongs to that? Where'd that come from?
Where'd
that come from? Whose is it?
Whose is it? Yeah.
Whose is it?
Who is it?
Who is it and whose is it? Is it mine?
So I don't know. Is it, you ask it? Is it yours?
It's mine.
It's yours? Okay. Well, I mean, that doesn't sound like such a bad supporting energy, because you know what, the other side is light and bright and equally strong, right?
Yes. Well, it was very interesting because it's animalistic, but yet not animal. Thank you. Thank you for helping me get in touch, Betsy. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. I thank Kelvin. We started talking about Kelvin, and all of a sudden there it was.
Exactly, right there. It's like, what are you doing here next to me? And it's too close. It was like,
well, do you need to vanish?
No, it's fine. No.
Okay.
No,
well, see, this is the way I'm feeling about Kelvin, is that this is a guide that is very patient and willing to participate if asked. And so in this series of events, the next thing that happened was a property clearing that's been a couple of years in the works of timing on it. And it was really interesting. It got scheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled in a series of weeks. And after the first rescheduling, I got the impression that I needed to take some tools up there with me for the clearing, and that one of them was an athame. And I credit Kelvin for this, because I would never have figured this out. I'm not much into knives and swords and all that. I have one plastic sword for Halloween that I decorated with sparkles.
Well, I'm the knife.
Penny's the knife girl. Penny and I went on a beach cleanup. We found lots of garbage. Penny found a knife. I still have it.
Good one.
Hi, Sharon. Welcome. So in addition to that, which luckily in the series of reschedulings, I had just enough time for Amazon to get the thing to me the night before I was supposed to go. It was late on delivery, and because of the reschedulings, it showed up with 12 hours to spare, just on time. So I had that. And also, it was just in time with the last full moon, and Kelvin told me to go get a jar of ocean water and make moon water out of it the night before and take that with me as well. So in the property clearing, right? I mean, and I guess I'm not going to stand up and rock the boat, but also on the athame, again, Kelvin guided me to put some chotch on it. So black and white for light and dark, the balance. And I have some charms on there. I have a bear for protection. I have a lion for strength. I have a black druzy quartz and feathers on it. So it's a new power tool. Welcome, Sharon. If you have any questions, we're telling stories now because we're finished with our question. We have about 10 minutes left. But if you have a pet reading question or a spirit guide question, feel free to pop it into the chat. You're more than welcome to join in. Thanks for coming. In any event, so while I was up there with the clearing, I didn't know what I have. And I have a curb alert basket that I found recently. It was such a beautiful basket. I couldn't drive by it on my way to work. I stopped and got it. I actually turned around and came back and got it. Uh-oh. Jane the Seeker. Jane, please type your question back in. So, because I missed it, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I got the basket, and so I started putting all my stuff in it. And when I got up for the clearing, all of a sudden I knew what to do with the water and the athame. I was dipping the athame in the water, and as I was sealing places and banishing stuff. Yeah. And I had my drum with me too. I was drumming at a particular location, and there's a yard full of nanny goats next door. And when I was drumming and when I stopped drumming, all the nannies started bleeding, all in harmony. Just every single one of them went off. Yeah, it was classic.
Nice.
Yeah. So in addition to that,
thank you.
Yeah, Jane, I'm so sorry. Please type your question back in. I haven't gotten it yet, but we have time to answer it. I'm looking. I don't even see it. Yeah, Jane, I'm sorry. I don't even see the question. Yeah, I looked through the chats, but I couldn't find a question, so I apologize. I saw in one place where you said that they were both 5 years old. So, but I didn't see a question above that. Anyway, so also I had a client of mine finally talk about what's going on with them about having shadow people in their lives. Mm-hmm. And because I'm me, my question got removed, so I put my question back in. Where? Put the question back in. I don't know how it could have gotten removed because nobody's a mod except me here.
Interesting.
Yeah. So actually, I believe for myself in working with all these things, I think my workbook still stands on its own to learn to be confident in your own protection, and draw your boundaries and decide how you want to interact with whatever it is that's in your awareness. That to me is still, some comments don't come through for some reason. Hang on. My last live with Brian, Brian kept asking a question, but YouTube kept blocking the question. It's right above where you see my question got removed. Honey, I'm so sorry. If you could just type it back in. I don't have any kind of a notification about a question being removed. And like Jonathan says here, YouTube kept blocking. Okay, so it's not me because here's what I have my mouse on right now, and it's not me that's blocking it. So I myself can't explain that. Yeah, I can't explain that. But then again, we all know about my mod skills. I would say try maybe some different words. Don't put the words in the same order, and just see if you can get around StreamYard that way, or YouTube, or whoever it is what's doing this, because this is really interesting. YouTube kept blocking the question. It could be that there's some word in there that looks like some other word. I would eliminate anything with an E and an X in it, because, yeah. Try not capital. There we go. Just, yeah, nope. Can anyone see it? No. Try not capital. Very good. Good idea. Yeah. So anyway,
You were talking about deciding who you want to listen to and what direction you wish to go.
Yeah, I think there's something about if we're encountering any kind of non-physical being communication. Yeah, I can't see it either. If we're encountering some kind of communication from non-physical beings, there's a reason they're coming to us. Like we were talking about with alcoholics being prime targets when their inhibitions are down. And finally, the questions here, and I'll pull it up in just a minute. Their inhibitions are down, and because they have an ability or they have a natural gift of intuition, entities can see them, right? They notice these things. So deciding what you want to do about this and figuring out what role this communication plays in your life and how it serves you best. I think that is the most important thing, most important advice I could offer anyone about this stuff, especially with working with darker entities. There's a lot of power on both sides, face it, the pendulum swings equally on both sides. So figure out how this serves you best. And we'll continue this conversation another day because finally, and we're going to say hello to Rebecca. Hello. But finally, we have Jane's question. Thankfully. My 2 litter mates are not getting along. They're bottle babies, 5 years old. Why are they not getting along? I'm getting territory arguments. Yeah, I'm getting territory arguments.
Well, it feels like there's one that wants an only cat.
Okay. And they're both female.
Mm-hmm. Territory.
Yeah. So it feels like it's small space that it's
That's
just the size of space. It's like container space. It's like fish in a container. Mm-hmm. So this is container space, and just this is natural order. I'm getting that this is kind of a phase of youth where they are, because they and Rebecca asks if they're spayed, but even if they are spayed, they still are in years. At 5 years old, they would be well into their mothering years and ruling their own roost kind of thing. It feels to me like in 2 years, they're going to be different animals with each other when their natural inclination towards being matriarch is going to start to dip a little bit. I'm getting the 2-year mark is when they're going to start calming down about the matriarch role a little bit. But this is like simply space kind of related, is what I'm picking up, is that they just feel like they're too close together all the time. Each one of them wants the same spots, because they both feel like this is my house, since they're litter mates. They grew up together. All the territory has been shared up to this time. It's like teenage girls sharing a bedroom. They just need space.
Yep. So probably trying to create some different spaces that are equally appealing. So if there's one cat tree, it's, if there's one litter box, it's creating separate spaces for each of them so they can each have some territory of their own, and trying to find out what makes the preferred space. Is it because it's the best view out the window? Because it's your favorite spot? It's helping to create some places where each of them feels like they have the best space.
Yeah. I keep seeing the number 7. I keep seeing it's number 7 is so strong. I think it's going to look different when they're 7. I just thought of something. My adult son moved in and they have 2 cats. The cats are separated from my cats, but they still know they're there. That's it.
There you go. That would be your issue, because now they're having to share space with other animals, and
they're separated, but they still know, they still each other know that they're there. So these girl cats are frustrated.
So they're taking out their frustrations on each other since they can't get the others out. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you have to remember it from their point of view. Yes, it's 2,000 square feet, but you cut our space in half, or whatever it is. There's strangers in the mix.
Well, even if their space hasn't been cut down, their territory has been invaded.
Yeah. Yep. The British are coming.
Yeah, but how are these other cats doing? Yeah, how are these other cats doing? That would be interesting to know.
They're not thrilled.
I got a feeling that they're a lot more mellow about it. That I think the other cats are glad that they have. Jane says, "No, they're fine." I think the other cats are glad to have a stable living situation, that they don't have to worry about being uprooted again, that this is a situation that whatever the agreement is about length of stay, they feel confident that they're not going to be bounced out without notice, and they're chill. No matter what's going on, they're just happy. They don't have to worry about being uprooted suddenly. That's the vibe I'm getting for those other kitties.
Yeah, I keep getting the girls that are already there. We're not happy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I like the separation of spaces idea. And they keep showing me teenage girls with bunk beds, and it's time to take those bunk beds apart and move them in different places. The other cats are female too, she says.
Oh, well, that just aggravates the whole situation for your girls.
Well, now we know what to do with Mal. Jonathan, pack him up, trundle him off to Jane's. That'll get some testosterone in the mix. That'll really fix things, won't it? Yeah. Oh, and a dog. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. My prescription is catnip and lots of it. Give those girls some CBD. Get them some CBD. Those girls need a pill. They need a cocktail.
I use CBD for my excitable boy a lot.
Yeah, those girls, they need they need mother's little helper right there.
Yep.
Cool. And hey, guess what? It's 7:03. Yes. One of us has to go to work here shortly.
Yes, and
not imminently.
I have a hot date with a motorcycle.
Tell them what kind of motorcycle you ride.
I have a Street Glide, a big Harley, a big bagger Harley.
It's what, 800, 900 pounds a motorcycle?
It's 800 pounds of torque and fun, of go fast.
Yeah, Petty is a badass. It's true. Yeah.
Or just stupid.
No, that, hey, no. That we don't tolerate that kind of self-talk. Nope, sorry, called.
Yep.
Called.
I love my Harley adventure. I would not trade it for the world.
You're welcome. That's why we're here. Keep checking back in. This is our first Friday of every month. So we'll be doing this again on the first Friday of September. And check back in with us, and Jonathan, you too. We of course want to have follow up on how things are going.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
Vroom vroom is right.
Thanks everybody for being here. This has been a great way to start the day. As I said, I hope you all have a happy Aloha Friday. That's what we call it here. There's actually a famous song for Aloha Friday that you can Google. It's hilarious. Awesome, Jane. Thank you so much. And thank you, Gerald.
Yes, thank you, Gerald.
Thanks for being here. I don't know if you're still here. I know we've been kind of rambling a little bit, but thanks so much for being here and supporting. We really appreciate everyone. Yep. That said, everybody have a great day, and we will see you on first Friday of September. Aloha.
Summer. Bye-bye.